Hey everyone, welcome to Stitch Happen. Today I wanted to go over BES4 software with you. This is an embroidery software put out by Brother. Now, to be clear, you don't have to have an embroidery software to run most of your embroidery machines. They have built-in designs and fonts, but having an embroidery software really expands what you can do with your embroidery machine, as in adds more fonts, more designs, and allows you to get a little bit more creative. So we're going to jump right in. When you bring it up, this is the first thing that pops up, where you can get more designs from Brother, look at their blog, go to an event where you can learn, which I highly recommend to look anything near you, and then some project ideas from brothersews.com. First thing we're going to do is go to create new design. Like I said, this is a little overview of the software itself, so I'm not going to dig really deep into everything. I do have other videos for that. So when it comes up, it automatically comes up like this. And let me be the first to tell you that I do not like the way it is set up. So I'm going to change a few things that I think that hopefully would help. So I'm going to go over here to my View tab, and I like to go ahead and turn on the grid. This allows me to line everything up and kind of space everything evenly, as well as change the background color. So I like to come over here and hit select color under background at the top, and I'm going to select a grayish color and pull it up right here to turn it a little more white. The reason why I do this is because a lot of times I have a design with maybe white thread in it, and I don't want it blended in the background. So kind of like a light gray makes it a lot easier to see. I'm also going to go ahead and click Preferences, where you have a few things that you can change over here. I like to keep most of them exactly the same, but the one thing that I do want to change that is important to me is metric to English. That way I can see everything in inches, and it's just a lot easier for me to work with. So starting off, you have up at the top your basic icons, which is in most programs that you have, like New, which you open a new design. Open allows you to open designs that you already have saved on your computer. And then you have your save button, send to machine, which if you didn't know, some machines have a wireless capability where you can plug the USB into the side of the machine and send it over there wirelessly. If not, you could just use a USB, which is fine. And then you have your undo and redo buttons. Now you have your tabs up at the top. Right now we're at the home screen where you have select, your copy and paste, delete, which is typical stuff, really kind of easy, self-explanatory to deal with. And then you have your text icon. So let's jump into this where you select text. You're going to click on the middle of your screen, which brings up to the right hand side all your text properties. I do make a video where I dig deeper into these, but for right now, I just kind of want to show you the overview. Right here on text, you can type in whatever you're wanting and go down and hit apply. Now, it shows it in a regular flat form, but I like to go up here and look at it and draw 3D. This allows me to kind of see what my design is actually going to look like. Now, if you noticed, when I clicked on the screen, my properties went away on the right hand side. So just a little helpful reminder, if you click back on your design, they will come up. You can select your different fonts here on your right hand side in your properties. BES4 has a lot of fonts to choose from, and you can change your height. So say you want it 2 inches, or if you want it 1.5 inches, or whatever you would like, you just type it in and hit apply. Another thing that I like to have pulled up is my hoop. So I know if maybe I'm doing a left chest logo, or if I'm doing a full front, I want to go ahead and pull up my hoop, which is in millimeters, but if you look down to the right corner, it does show you in inches. So if I want my 4x4 hoop, I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. This allows me to see size a little better and kind of visualize what it's going to look like in the hoop. Okay. All of these buttons have different functions right here. These little icons, like I said in my font video, I do go over that, but the most important one I want to say for now is this arrow at the top left that can change size. Okay, so now we have name drops. This allows you to, if you're doing a large project, like a group project maybe, say for example, you have a bunch of cheerleading bags, this will allow you to type in all the names that you're going to embroider out, and it will automatically bring them up and save them for you. Very helpful if you're doing a large project that requires you to spend a lot of time saving all the names. Monogram designer, this is something that you can kind of get funky with and kind of pull up different frames and different fonts for your monogram and little different icons that you can put designs in. It's kind of fun to go over. It allows you to get really creative. I have a video for that in particular as well. Alpha mapping is neat. If you don't know, if you buy an embroidery font, they give each letter to you individually, okay? And so if you're adding it into your machine, it is really annoying to have to pull up each letter at a time, especially if you have a longer name. Say you're going to put Elizabeth. You're going to have to open the E and then merge every letter behind it and make sure it's lined up. Well, alpha mapping is really neat, one of my favorite things, because it allows you to merge in whatever font that you have bought, so you can actually type it out in the program itself instead of opening the letters one by one. You have templates, which is some fun pre-done templates, which, like, I know that the baby one is really popular. As a newborn gift, it kind of has everything set up for you, which makes it super easy. You have some other options over here as well, which are really fun. And then you can also change this up to you. It's just a template. I have a video going over that as well, don't forget. So if you want to add a design, the next is add design. It has a few different pre-done designs in there that are kind of fun to play with. You have accents, emojis, different frames, borders, do a little emoji maybe, see something fun there. All right, you can move it to the side to do the size as well. All right, now we have an auto baste, which allows you to put a running stitch around your design. This is for if you want to hold maybe water soluble in place. So it puts the basting stitch first, which will tack down your water soluble stabilizer and allow you to do your embroidery without it shifting or moving on you, which is great. It's just a run stitch. You're going to pull it out and it won't stay on your fabric. We'll go ahead and delete that. Color sort, which is really good, especially if you have a one needle machine. I know that, there's 5 needles. You can get a 6 needle machine. All sewing and embroidery machines are 1 needle, which is what I have. So if you have a lot of colors, you want to go to color sort, which will kind of group all of like colors together, which will reduce the color changes, which, will take forever. We already ran over Draw 3D. This allows you to see what it looks like stitched out, your hoop, and then this is for your scan and cut. So if you are using the Brothers Scan and Cut, you can look and see what it looks like placed on your cutting mat. You also have a ruler where you can measure really specifically sizes or the spacing. Don't typically use that because I like to use these blocks. That makes it easier. And then you have your zoom up at the top where you can zoom in, zoom out. If you look at the 100%, that is exactly what it's going to look like stitched out. You can also use the zoom here, and pan, if you click it, allows you to move around your screen. So coming down next, we have our thread colors. So I like to use the Brother Embroidery colors. I'll show you the difference. If you click on this, there's just so many different color options on those. I would like to stay with the basics, so I have to scroll all the way left and right to choose the basic colors that I will be using. If you want to look for a certain color, if you know like whatever type of embroidery thread, then you only use that thread, and you want to look for a certain color, you can look at color search. This shows you the color that you have currently selected, and this allows you to move through the different colors here. Going down, it shows what colors you have specifically in your design. Right now I have 5 different colors. I know there'll be 5 different color changes, and these are the colors that are used in my design. So to the left hand side, go into sequence view. This shows you the order that it is going to stitch out. So the first thing that I brought up was our sew, and then it's going to stitch out the emoji face, the outline, and the heart. I can also change colors this way. So if I want the outline to be the same color maybe as the face, I can change it that way just by clicking on it. This also allows us to be able to change the order that it stitches in. So if I want to maybe do the emoji first, I can grab the sew, bring it down here at the bottom, and now that's going to sew the emoji first and then our lettering. Coming up here, we have a range where we can highlight what we have by selecting all items, and then we can help line them up or arrange them correctly. So if I go to center them, now it centers. I send them vertically, which is not good because now they're on top of each other. So I'm going to go hit that undo button. That's one of my favorite buttons. We can center it in the screen, align it to the left or to the right. Okay, we could also flip them, which we don't want to do because it's going to sew backwards, or rotate our design. And then you could do like maybe 90 degrees, which you should also be able to rotate on your embroidery machine as well. So we have different tools up here. A lot of this is to work with your scan and cut. We can go over those in a different video. Right now I just kind of want to show you the basics. And in the beginning I showed you view, which we changed our background. Now what is neat is that we have garment templates where, say I want to do a onesie, I can pull up the onesie, and that way I can kind of see what it's going to look like on there. It's just kind of fun. It will help you visualize it if you are trying to get everything straight and you're not familiar with what it's going to look like. So now that we have our design, we have changed the colors, we know what it's going to look like on our garment. It's a little funky on this onesie, which is fine. I'm just going to delete it out by clicking the delete button on my keyboard. I could have hit delete up here as well. Now that we have our design where we want it, we're completely sure of ourselves here. This looks good. I can come over to my B, and the drop down screen will open, and I can go hit save as, and I will save it to my USB, or if I want to send it over wirelessly, I can send it over to the machine. I don't have my machine plugged up right now, so it's not gonna save it to there. But that's an overview of BES4. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to go over it for you. I know that sometimes it can be really overwhelming starting with embroidery software, but just so you know, a lot of them are set up the basic same way. You have fonts, colors, designs, and then you can size everything. You can view it. It just makes your life easier and kind of allows you to have a little more creativity with your embroidery machine. So if you have any questions, let me know. And as always, happy stitching.